What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about weapons. I got to see this a little bit early. This is written and directed by Zach Kreger. One night, 17 students from Mrs. Gandy's class all disappear at the same time, 2:17 a.m., and they never return except for one student. And now Miss Gandy and Josh Brolin's character and other people become embroiled in this mystery, and they have to figure out what exactly is going on. And these kids start doing the Naruto run. Remember when the Naruto run was so popular that people were going to be doing it through Area 51? They were going to storm Area 51 like this guy was, having a little too much fun? Yeah, those were good times, right? I wanted to really love weapons. I came out of Weapons really liking it, so there was a slight disappointment, but that's not to say that this is a bad movie. This is still a really good movie from Zach Kreger, writer and director of Barbarian. Please release Barbarian on Blu-ray already, Disney. Thank you very much. What I like so much about Weapons is that it's one of those movies where it's told from different perspectives of different characters, which allows you to really pay attention. It keeps you aware. It keeps you alert, because there might be certain details that are present in one character's perspective that are also present in another character's perspective. So it's interesting to see how everything kind of ties back, if there are smaller details that you may have missed in one other thing that you didn't think really ties together. And then all of a sudden it's harkening back to a detail that you may have missed or you may have seen that really does come into focus. There's one perspective where I was thinking to myself, what is this even about? And then it connects back to somebody else's other perspective of what exactly is going on and their side of the story and how they get involved with this essentially haunted house. And I actually thought that was a clever way to engage with the movie this way. It just made me feel more alert. It actually got me hooked in from the beginning because it wasn't traditional in the sense. It gave me a way to engage with it in a different type of way. I really thought that this was just going to be a straightforward narrative. We were going to be following Julia Gardner and Josh Brolin for the whole movie, and we're really not. There's other characters that are here at play, and it really takes its time to build its tension up. And by doing this, you are able to build the tension up to what is eventually, essentially, a ritualistic thing that is happening. I'm not going to spoil too much. That did freak me out towards the end when it goes all Blair Witch on me and there's ritualistic stuff. Yeah, it gets a little freaky. I can say that. I mean, these kids doing the Naruto runs kind of funny, but I thought how the narrative played out was really smart. I like how this movie used shadows and lighting to its advantage, and it made things even more creepier. It kind of gave my audience a gasp. It made me gasp a couple times because characters might be sitting somewhere, or they won't even be sitting anywhere in the frame. They might not even be seen in the frame. Then all of a sudden a character will turn and boom, they're right there. And then the character will turn, they'll still be in the frame, but boom, they'll move their head really fast like that, or slow, and it looks like there is something very malevolent going on. They'll be hiding in the shadows, they'll move really fast. Everything in this house is dark. There are shades down. There's no lights. Everything is boarded up. This door magically opens. How is this door opening? It's some creepy stuff that really evokes terror and fear into not just you, but into whoever is going into this house. The movie does a really good job building up that tension and building up that suspense to really get you to try and gasp. It doesn't have cheap jump scares. There are a couple of jump scares here, but they're not cheap. And that's how you know the movie is full of really good tension. And that's a credit to Zach Kreger as a director. I thought he did a very good job with that in Barbarian, and he does an even better job of it here. And the performances across the board are all great. Josh Brolin's great as always. I like everything I've seen Julia Gardner in so far, even if it's a terrible movie. Like, wasn't she in that Apartment 7A movie last year that was like the prequel to Rosemary's Baby or something? I think she was in that. Was that her? Somebody correct me in the comments. I have a very short-term memory of that movie, and thank God, because it wasn't that good. She's a delight as always. I mean, obviously, she's fresh off of Fantastic Four, where she played Shala Ball in The Silver Surfer. It's cool. She's got like 2 movies within 3 weeks. That's great. Everybody else across the board, Austin Abrams, Benedict Wong, Amy Madigan, who I think is fantastic in this movie. Really, really great. The third act is easily the best part, but I can also attribute the third act to being part of the weakness of the movie. It's the part where I was having the most fun, and it's the part where everything coalesced all together. But at the same time, I think the third act really brings out the worst part of this movie, and that is the tonal balance. Because there are moments in this movie that the audience is dying laughing, I'm dying laughing, and I don't think that that was the intent of Zach Kreger. I think that this is all supposed to be taken seriously, but it's camp. There's some campy fun in this, and there's unintentional comedy here. When he's trying to scare the pants off you, and then you just see kids blasting through doors and running around like doing the Naruto run like crazy, there's some contradictory tonal shifts there that I don't think were necessarily intentional, but come across as really funny. And the actions some of these kids commit, they're hilarious, but hilarious in the way where it's like, should I be laughing, or is that the intent of that scene? You know, like, it's black comedy. Like, everything with Austin Abrams in this movie is kind of hilarious, but I wish it wasn't. Do you know what I mean? I think it has a bit too much fun at some points, and it doesn't take itself as seriously as it should. There's one other issue I have with this movie. It's the big reveal. It's the ritualistic stuff, which is cool. I'm fine with that. It freaked me out. But at the same time, I just needed more of a motive. I needed a bit more of a why. I didn't need a why as to what was happening. I completely understood that. It's not told to you like spoon fed to you, but it's obvious what's happening. I just needed more of a motive. What was the purpose behind whatever or whoever was committing what is going on for what they're doing? And the movie doesn't have any backstory into that. But Weapons is still a really good movie. I think this is a solid sophomore movie from Zach Kreger, at least in terms of him writing and directing. He's been an actor for quite a while now, but in terms of like the filmmaking thing, he's had a solid run here with these two movies, Barbarian, Weapons. I prefer Barbarian over Weapons. I wish Weapons was definitely up there with Sinners. I think Sinners is by far the better movie, and that's what I was expecting Weapons to be, but I'm glad that it didn't necessarily take me on the ride that I was expecting. I'm glad that it challenged me, and that's always been my motto. I just think I needed a little bit more in some parts, and the tone needed to be a little bit more consistent. But I really enjoyed Weapons with a full bucket of popcorn. So if you guys do see Weapons, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I will see you at the movies somewhere.